Gonna break closed guard again. All right, and I'll show this from a couple different angles. But obviously we were stepping over the other day and working with some pressure, setting up that arm triangle toward the end. I'm gonna get that sternum again. Again, make sure I'm not dropping my elbow here because he's always gonna pull me in. I don't ever want this to happen. I wanna turn that palm down and lock out my arm. Head up, okay? Now I'm gonna pinch my knees so I'm not giving him a bunch of room for his hips to slide. I wanna leave this really wide where he can just keep hopping his hips up and down, okay? I wanna pinch, turn the arm down, and then I'm looking for a sleeve. When I get the sleeve, I wanna stuff it. Now I'm gonna windshield wipe my legs. Here, stand up tall. Here, okay? Now, I'm gonna break, and instead of me going over his leg, I'm gonna kind of step back. So I'm gonna pull that sleeve up, I'm gonna break and step back, here. And then from this, I'm gonna drop my elbow on the inside and get the leg on my shoulder. So I'm gonna swim that arm underneath his leg, okay? Notice my knee is on his thigh. Keep it from locking anything up. I'm just gonna get thumb in on his collar, narrow it, or shallow it first by underneath his sternum, and just pull that elbow back into my hip, okay? I don't wanna leave it open wide because he's gonna get his arm set behind it, which is not good for me. Here, holding, okay? And from this position, I'm gonna stack him, all right? So once I have this position, start to rock him up, reach under and grab like on the outside of his pants, okay? Once I have this, I'm gonna start to stack, all right? Once I have his hips up, I can go deeper. My thumb in his collar, elbow to my ribs, or to my hip, I'm sorry, here, so he can't really set up underneath my arm, okay? Now I'm gonna stack basically to where he can't go anymore. Then I'm gonna turn. Here. Notice my forearm is in his neck. I have his legs kind of up. I still kept that grip on his pants. So it's difficult for him to mount a big explosion to get out here. Okay? His hips aren't even really touching the mat. And I settle. Finish and side control.
You all right?
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah. It's a solid grip. All right. Here. I'm gonna catch the sleeve, stuff. Stand up. Tall. Okay. I'm gonna push and step back. Here. Now I'm gonna drop the elbow on the inside here. Don't leave it out here. Elbow on the inside, drop to my right knee. Here. Now I'm immediately gonna come up tight with my head upright. Get his collar, grab the pants, underhand grip on the pants. Okay? There's no danger of a triangle or anything here because where my shin is at. Okay?
Are you at the knee at that point? Okay.
Here. I don't want to leave my knees behind and grab on top. So he's going to pull me into a submission position. Underhand grip, kind of at the bend of his knee, and the shin is in here. Okay? So now I'm going to start to stack. Pressure, pressure, switch the grip to the hip here, and right in on his pants. Okay? I can grab deeper if I'd like, pull my elbow to my hip, stack, 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 turn, settle, go under his head, over and cover his hip. Do it this way too.
Which way?
Going this way. Yeah. Again, tight, locked out. So he tries to pull me in, head up, stuff, stand up, here, okay? I'm gonna push and sit back, just stand back. Here. Now, elbow comes inside, drop to my knee, circle to where it ends up on my shoulder. His collar and his pants. Start to walk him up, switch to the back of the hip. I can move deeper into the collar if I'd like. Okay? And I'm gonna walk that knee straight to his face. Once he runs out of travel on his legs, I'm gonna start to turn. Here. Notice his hip off the mat. Finish here, underneath his head, block his hip. Any questions? We're gonna do two passes tonight. This one, and then we'll kind of play off of the initial position here. All right, any questions on this? We good? All right, get some partners. We're just gonna do 2 and 2, so 2 and switch, all right? 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter which way we go. So, stuff. Tall. Here. Okay, I'm gonna break and step back. Here. Again. Notice how my arm's not hanging out here. It's here. I pushed everything down. I'm gonna drop to that right knee. Here. Okay. Now, instead of going with that stack pass, I'm in position to go this way too. Right? So I can hold here. All right. Same pressure. I'm trying to like basically make him do the splits as much as possible here. And then as this knee comes down, I'm gonna wrap his head. Okay. So my grip will kind of switch to his hip or keep this collar. It's fine. Okay. So I'm facing him. Notice I'm not going this way. All right. So if you can't really get that hand set underneath my armpit. All right. So as I work to put the knee to the mat, I'm gonna wrap his head. So if he's defending with this arm, right, inside position, right, so he's framing, inside position, knee to the mat, wrap his head. Back step, okay. Shoulder right to his face. And then I finish in side control. So same attack position. Pushed everything down, drop to the right knee, settle in on him. I'm looking straight at him. Collar, okay? He's framing. Again, I don't want to go this way. Circle, right? So he's, right? Inside position, and then I'm gonna go. So knee to the mat, wrap his head, big back step. Notice, so framing, inside position, knee to the mat, wrap his head, back step. Like a nice solid base. My foot is still on his back of his knee, and I have his leg. Drive my shoulder into his face, put my knee to replace, and then finish inside control. Does that make sense? Any questions? It's just attacking through the other side. Do one more going this way.
Now, are you just flowing through with that back step, or are you taking your time, kind of like cooking him once you get into the position?
What's that?
Are you?
It depends.
Okay.
All right. I'm free to stand up on this side. Here. Remember, drop. Step in. Okay. I'm going straight into him. I'm not off to one side or the other. Get his collar. Straight into him. Framing. Try to get inside position. Then my knee's going to go to the mat. When the knee hits, I'm going to be trying to wrap his head. So he's framing. Here. Back step. Drive the shoulder into his face. Knee to the hip. Finish inside control. Good? Any questions? We'll knock that out the rest of the class, all right? 1, 2, 3.